Hi. Yeah, it's really good to see you again. Yeah, I know you're back for a massage in the big comfy chair. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you were mentioning that. So you were thinking today you just want to do the classic. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, maybe we'll start with a shoulder rub, like we usually do, and then we'll do some, let's see, some kneading, some pressure work all over the body. Does that sound good? Okay, great. Yeah, why mess with a classic, huh? Yeah. Okay, so for the shoulders, I am just going to pull this blanket down just a little bit, just so I can access your shoulders. Okay, and I'm just gonna step around behind you, okay? Okay. I'm just feeling your right shoulder. You feeling an okay temperature? Temperature? Temperature. And here's your left shoulder. Yep. We got a bungalow kitty coming to say hello. His right shoulder again. Do a little bit. Slightly harder motion here. Yeah, so I'm picking up on maybe just a little bit of tension in the left, or excuse me, in the right shoulder. Does that track with you? Yeah, okay. Let's feel the left again. Slightly firmer, more circular motions with my hands. Right shoulder again. Left shoulder. Let's just go across the span of the back. Is it feeling okay? Okay, great. Yeah, there's just a little bit of a knot on this right side, which I'm gonna work on right now. And then we'll close out the massage with another shoulder rub like I usually do. Yeah, just to make sure that that knot has been addressed. You know. Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's there. Yeah. I'm thinking for the massage, for the full body portion, I may just do sort of a random mix of kneading and pressure work. Yeah, I'll just kind of throw them in as I see fit, if that sounds good to you. Okay, great. Okay, all right, so I did a little bit of work on this knot, but I'll come back to it at the end of the session. There we go. Okay. Hi, how are you feeling? I feel okay? Okay, so let's get this blanket back up again. There we go. Okay, so let me first, I'm just gonna work on applying some sort of like kneading pressure to the forearms. Are they comfortable on these armrests? Okay. Yeah, and this is just kind of the classic kneading move that I've done in the past. But you know me, I really love targeting the sides of the body because I think we hold a lot of tension there. Yeah. Spread that out just a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna do some diagonals here. Hips here. How are the hips feeling today? Not too bad. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel too tight or anything. Just from this first initial kneading that I'm doing. And then back up into the torso again. Okay, let's do some diagonals on these hips. Yeah, so with this motion, I really am just holding my hands at a diagonal and applying pressure, okay? Again. Do some kneading. Back up into the torso. A little bit of quick pressure on the hips and torso. Okay. Back to these diagonals. Hips here. Back up into the torso a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's move down. kneading this quad. This is your left quad. Go all the way down to the ankle. Oh, and really get that ankle. Yeah. And go up the shin. Up to the knee. There we go. Really, really need that knee. Up into that quad. There we go. Let's get that knee again. Oh. Okay. And let's work on kneading this guy. There we go. Let's get down to this ankle here. There we go. Yeah. The shin. Oh, targeting that knee. Yeah. And up into the quad a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right, now let's just do some diagonals on these legs. Got our friends, the sirens outside. Okay. Just running my hands down each leg, just for some relaxation. There we go. And then I'm just actually going to push back these feet and lean. Oh, there we go. So this is me leaning on the tops of your feet and pushing them all the way back and getting a good stretch out of those feet. Yeah. Does that feel okay? Okay, good. There we go. Let's actually just work these ankles one more time because I was sensing some crackiness in there earlier. Okay. There's that one. Let's really get into this right ankle. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's run my hands down each leg. Again, for some nice relaxation. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's get you all tucked into this blanket all nicely. I'm just going to do some good kneading on this forearm. This is your right forearm. Across. There. And do some good kneading on this forearm. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's go back into the kneading of the torso. Yeah, really digging my thumbs and fingers in there, getting a good grip on the side of your body. Yeah. Okay, let's dig into these hips. And what I'm doing right now is I'm taking my thumbs and I'm digging them into your hip flexors, okay? Yep. Oh. Yeah. How's the pressure? Is it okay? Okay. Yep. This is me actually grabbing your hip and your torso and doing a diagonal, kind of a bigger diagonal, okay? Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna go in for a little bit, kind of faster pressure here. Down into these legs. There we go. Up into those hips again. Yeah, so this is kind of like hand walking pressure right now, I guess you'd say. Yeah. And then I'll do some of the more in-depth, intense, leaning pressure here in a second. Yep. Okay. Straighten out this blanket again. And I'm going to grab this hip and this left section of your torso and alternate. And alternate. Doing okay? Okay, good. And alternate. Do some diagonals on these hips. Again, taking these thumbs. Going into those hip flexors, yep. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, they weren't feeling tight earlier, but I think, even when muscles or joints aren't tight, it can still be good to do some pretty aggressive work on them just to keep them loose and limber, right? Yeah. Okay. So now I am going to go in for pressure and hold. Yep, and as before, this is a good amount of my body weight that I'm leaning into these hips. Feels okay? Okay, good. Go. There we go. Let me go into this quad here for a second. This quad here for a second. Okay. Just gonna move around to the other side here. Okay. So my hand around this way. There we go. Okay. Again, applying a good amount of pressure onto these hips. Yeah. Feeling okay. Okay, good. And there we go. This is kind of like the hips / upper quads. And back into the hip flexors, yep. Okay. All right. Just get this blanket all straightened out. Just feel these hips. Okay, I'm grabbing your right hip and your left torso side and diagonal. I'm switching. And diagonal. Diagonal. And I'm just doing a diagonal on the torso now. And I'm grabbing these hips and I'm doing diagonals. Okay. All right. So let me these hands down your upper body again. Here we go. Relaxation. And I'm also going to run my hands down your legs again. Each leg one at a time. Is that feeling okay? Okay, good. Okay. All right. So we are just going to finish up with a shoulder rub, okay? How are you feeling? You feeling okay? Okay, good. All right. Pull this down a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Let's work the shoulder. This is your right shoulder with the knot. This is the left shoulder with the knot. Yeah, there's actually a bit of a knot in the left shoulder. Let's see, let's feel that. Sorry, there seems to be someone with a hedge trimmer outside. My hope is that the sounds of the shoulder massage will drown that out, but as is the way with these lo-fi sessions, perhaps it won't be fully drowned out. Here we go. Okay. Okay, let's see. So working this right shoulder. Yeah. And working the left shoulder. And working that right shoulder a little bit more. And working this left shoulder a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. And now let's work both shoulders. There we go. It's like the guy with the hedge trimmer conspired with the guy with the sirens. They're like, it's bungalow time. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So just rubbing these shoulders. Yeah, just getting you totally relaxed at the end of this session. Okay. All right. How's that feeling? Feels okay? Okay, good. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's tuck you back in. Hi. How are you doing? You doing okay? Okay, so let's just rub these hands down the body for a little bit more relaxation at the end. Yeah. Well, I always love doing these big comfy chair sessions. I always love talking too. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Um, so you're looking a little sleepy. Yeah, so I'll just let you rest, okay, in the chair for as long as you need to. I don't have another client booked for a while, so the chair is yours, okay? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it was really good seeing you. And I'll see you next time, okay?